Today, we're jumping right into the world of P-pop to talk about the huge, undeniable influence of SB19. They're what everyone calls the benchmark, the gold standard for success. But that title, well, it brings up a really interesting question. So let's get right to it. If SB19 basically wrote the playbook for how to make it big globally, why does it seem like some of the newer P-pop groups aren't exactly following it page for page? Are we looking at some kind of quiet rivalry? Or is there something way more complex and honestly, way more exciting happening here? To really unpack all this, here's how we're going to break it down. First, we'll lock in what makes SB19 the benchmark in the first place. Then, we'll tackle that whole idea of avoidance. After that, we'll look at why so many groups are choosing to forge their own unique paths. And finally, we'll talk about what this all means for the future of P-pop. Okay, Section 1. Before we can even begin to understand why another group might go a different route, we have to be absolutely crystal clear on what makes SB19 the standard. What does being a benchmark even mean in this context? A benchmark isn't just about being the first one to do something or being the most popular. It's a point of reference. It's the model that proves what's actually possible, and in doing so, it sets a brand new standard for literally everyone that comes after. And that is exactly what SB19's journey did for P-pop.
And when you look at their achievements, you really get a sense of just how high they set that bar. I mean, we're talking about being the first ever Filipino act to show up on major Billboard charts. Their songs didn't just do well, they went viral all over the world. Their fans, A10, became this massive, organized force. They didn't just put P-pop on the map, they proved, once and for all, that a Filipino group could go head-to-head with global acts and win.
But here's the thing. And this image really gets at it. Their success isn't just about the charts and the numbers. It's built on two things: absolutely top-tier, world-class performance, and something deeply, authentically Filipino. You hear it in their lyrics, right? Ginto referencing our own culture's connection to gold, or Mapa being this beautiful tribute to parents. That combination of skill and soul is what made their benchmark so incredibly powerful. Which, of course, brings us right back to that big question. With such a successful model laid out for them, why does it look like some other groups are deliberately carving out their own totally different spaces? Is this some unspoken competition? Well, why guess when we can go straight to the source? This is a quote from BINI, who are, one of the hottest P-pop girl groups right now, and they've made it super clear. There's no competition. That one sentence just completely flips the whole narrative from rivalry to something else. So, if it's not about competition, then what is it? Well, this is the other side of the coin. It's about a supportive scene. These artists see each other as peers, not rivals. And one group's success isn't seen as a threat. It's seen as a win for the entire Filipino music industry, for OPM. It's like that old saying, a rising tide lifts all boats.
And that idea leads us straight into the real heart of this whole thing. If it's not about avoiding SB19, then what is it? It's about artists making a conscious, creative choice to forge their own, completely unique paths.
And this explosion of creativity seems to boil down to three main things. First, and this is the obvious one, every artist wants their own unique identity, their own sound, their own look. But beyond that, groups are now drawing from this incredibly rich tapestry of Filipino culture, regional sounds, different stories. And lastly, you have to remember that not every group has the exact same goal. For some, representing a specific part of our culture might be more important than just climbing the global charts. This chart really breaks it down perfectly. You've got two different approaches here. On one side, you can follow the benchmark. You're basically replicating a model that you know works, aiming for that same kind of global success. On the other side, you can forge a totally new path, and that's all about creating a distinct identity and exploring different goals, maybe finding a cool artistic niche. And hey, neither of these is wrong. They're just different strategies for a genre that's growing up and diversifying. So, when you put it all together, what does this actually mean for P-pop? It means we should stop seeing a benchmark like a cage that everyone has to fit into and start seeing it as what it really is, a powerful launchpad. Seriously, think of it like a tree. SB19, they planted the seeds and grew the strong, solid trunk. They showed everyone how tall a P-pop tree could grow. That standard gives new artists a solid foundation to start from. But the real magic, the thing that makes a forest so beautiful and interesting, is all the different branches that grow out in their own unique directions. That's where innovation happens. So, at the end of the day, when we see P-pop groups creating their own sounds, their own looks, their own identities, it is not a rejection of the incredible benchmark that SB19 set. It is the absolute clearest sign you could ask for of a healthy, dynamic, and incredibly confident artistic evolution. And all of this leaves us with one final and really exciting question to chew on. If the genre is already growing and branching out in so many ways beyond its original benchmark, what in the world comes next? With so many unique paths being explored all at once, the future of P-pop is looking more vibrant, more diverse, and more unpredictable than ever before.